Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Welcome to the start of a new week. It's Monday morning. And we get to jump into a new week together right here. Our teacher for this week is Renee Sauter. Do a search for her name and have a look at some of the stuff that she's produced, created, some of her content, some of her quotes, some of the books she's written. Danae, good morning. Charlene, good morning. Sanmari, good morning. Let's get into it. It's Monday, and I want to remind you that you are a born creator. You were created to create. Creating is your birthright. Renee Sauter reminds us, creativity is one of your greatest gifts. It resides deep inside you, impacting every thought. It is attached to a never-ending source, and it is one of the main aspects of who you are. Your very essence is as a creator. No one creates exactly like you do. Your thoughts and actions color the world. Anthony, good evening. It's great seeing you. Hello. Michelle, good morning. Happy Monday. What an inspiring message for the start of the week. It is however helpful to have an awareness of what place you are creating from. Linda, good morning. Happy Monday. What is it that inspires the actions you take? Are you creating from a place of fear or from a place of freedom? Fear inspires you to avoid what scares you. And if we create from or inspired by avoiding what scares us, that looks a lot different than when we're creating in freedom, when we are creating what our soul calls for. Maggie, good morning. Anami, good morning. Hello and happy Monday morning to you. Renee Sauter says, are you busy proving your worth, or are you busy living your worth? That's a critical distinction. Are the actions you take inspired by trying to prove your worth, or are the actions you take simply authentically living who you are? Last thought from Renee Sauter says, authenticity inspires. Just be real. When you're creating in fear, you will forever be trying to prove yourself to the world. When you create in love and in freedom, you will be guided by the expression of your soul. So if you're ready, let's jump into this week together and remind ourselves that we want to be the authentic version of ourselves. We want to be living our worth and not trying to prove our worth to anyone else. Honey, a very good morning. Happy Monday. Awesome having you with us live. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and let it go. A deep inhale and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, feel your body rise with every inhale. And feel into the softening of your body with every exhale. And let's have a conversation about exactly what you are doing right now. Your breath and your nervous system is inextricably woven together. Think about as a kid playing hide and seek with cousins or friends or siblings. Think about running away to go and hide. And finding yourself hiding around a corner and paying attention to your breath, thinking, I have to breathe softer because they'll hear me. Of course, exerting ourselves, running, makes us breathe harder and faster. But that is also linked to fight or flight. Our fight or flight nervous system always creates shallower, faster breaths. And our calm nervous system creates breathing that is easier, slower, and deeper. But it works the other way around too. When you, for no reason other than deliberately trying, when you change your breath to faster, shallower breathing, that switches on your fight or flight nervous system. And when we change our breath to deeper, slower breathing, it switches on our calm nervous system. So right now, deep breaths, slow, filling up the balloon in your belly, and slowly letting it go. Feeling into the softening of your body. This is a conversation with your body. This is taking your body by the hand, sitting it down and letting it know, this is how I want us to do this. Let's switch on the calm nervous system. And let's be deliberate about awareness of when we feel anxious and stressed. And let's remember to take a few big breaths every time we feel that tension. In fact, Look into your day ahead and be proactive. Where are time slots during your day where stopping for a few big, slow breaths fit in easily? Perhaps every time you sit in front of your computer ready to put your hands on the keyboard. Perhaps first, a few deep, slow breaths. Or perhaps it's every time you get up from your computer to perhaps switch on the kettle for a cup of tea or go to the bathroom. Perhaps then stop for a few slow breaths every time. Or it's when you get into the car just before you hit the ignition. Switch on your calm nervous system before you drive off into traffic. What other moments can you find during your day to be the captain of your ship, to decide which nervous system will be behind the wheel? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left. Forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. And lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening, and feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see yourself standing at the start of this new week. See how your toes are sticking right over the edge and you are ready to dive in. Take your next big breath. We are standing at the start of a new week, and we don't just want to walk into this week on autopilot. We don't want to walk into this week unprepared and be blindsided by any possible unplanned thing. So we want to set some intention. We want to walk into this week intentionally. And also, be ready for whatever unplanned might happen. So let's start with a planned first. Those things that are already in your calendar. Give yourself a reminder as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, walk yourself through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and remind yourself of some of the things you need to get done this week. Remind yourself of some of the places you need to go this week. And be reminded of some of the people you need to see this week. Take your next big breath. What are you creating this week? And I really want you to expand your understanding of creating. Here are some examples. These are the easy examples, the ones that come to our mind first. Perhaps you're working on a project. And perhaps this week will be the final week of this project where you can take a step back and see what you've created. Or perhaps you're working on a piece of art. And during this week, you'll be finished and you can take a step back and you can look at what you've created. But those are only 2 blips on the whole spectrum of creating. Because it's not just the physical thing we can take a step back from. Every interaction we have is an act of creating. Every conversation you have creates a relationship. Everything you do in your home creates the energy that you live in. So what are you creating this week? And can you open your arms wide to the full spectrum of creating that is available to you? Take your next big breath. Take a moment to transport yourself to the end of this next week. Imagine you get to the weekend and you look back. If you had a checklist for the end of the week, what are the things you'd like to check off that list? What are the things for which you'd like to say, I got this done, I got that done? What are the things for which you'd like to say, I got started on this one and I made progress on that one? Take your next big breath. then let's revisit the question of what is it that inspires the actions you take? While you are creating this week, what motivates your creating? Is it fear that drives your action? Or is it freedom? Fear inspires you to avoid what scares you. It could just be creating because I'm trying to avoid the punishments that will come if I don't create. And this is very real. We all need to keep a roof over our heads. We all need to put food on the table. And that could be the fear that inspires the actions we take. There's no judgment there. But fear will also never allow us to get beyond that, to do any better than creating while looking over our shoulder. Fear inspires you to avoid what scares you. Is there an avenue of creating that is available to you, but you're not taking it because of what scares you? Take a moment to explore that. Ask the question, what scares me? What am I trying to avoid? What am I not attempting to create because I'm too scared? As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, you don't have to find an answer now, but are you open to be shown that here is a space in which you can expand if you stop running from what scares you? So as you take your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, ask the question, what am I running from? What scares me? What am I not even trying because of fear? Take your next big breath. Freedom inspires you to create what your soul calls for. What does your soul call for? What is it that you need to act on in order to create what your soul calls for? Take your next big breath. Renee Sartre reminds us at the start of this week to make a distinction between, are you trying to prove your worth? Are the actions you're taking, the things you're creating, are they an attempt to try and prove your worth? Or do you really know your worth, and are you just living your worth? When fear is what inspires our actions, we'll always be trying to prove our worth, trying to gain that validation. But when freedom, when love is what inspires our action, it's because we know our worth. And we want to authentically just live our worth. Can this be our reminder for this week as we step into the week ahead? I want to be reminded that I don't need to prove my worth, that I can live from my soul and be the expression of my worth. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back, or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Let this be our reminder for this whole week, that you are a born creator. Renee Sartre says, creativity is one of your greatest gifts. It resides deep inside you, impacting every thought. It is attached to a never-ending source, and it is one of the main aspects of who you are. Your very essence is as a creator. No one creates exactly like you do. Your thoughts and actions color the world. And the big reminder for us is to pay attention to where our drive to create comes from. What is it that is motivating our creating? She says, are you busy proving your worth, or are you living your worth? That's a critical distinction. She says, authenticity inspires. Just be real, be authentic, and create from there. Fear inspires you to avoid what scares you, while freedom inspires you to create what your soul calls for. When you're creating in fear, you will forever be trying to prove yourself to the world. But if you're creating freedom, if you're connected to your soul, if you're connected to your heart, you'll be guided by the expression of your soul. Can you see yourself spread your wings and dive off into this week? My wish for you is to create authentically at your highest potential this week. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for the privilege of standing at the start of a new week, ready to dive in. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the opportunity to take a moment to look into this week and be intentional about how I walk into the week. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the recognition of where I am trying to create inspired by fear. Take a deep breath in. And thank you for learning that this doesn't necessarily have to change what I'm trying to create. I could be having the exact same goals, but it is different if I'm trying to prove my worth to the world, as opposed to knowing my worth and just living my worth. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for jumping into this week with us. May you just be the expression of your worth this week, and not even once try to prove your worth to anyone. Thank you, Charlene. Have a beautiful week. Thank you, Danae. Andy, it's good to see you pop in with us. I hope you had a bit of time to sit down with us as well. Honey, have an amazing week. Thank you, Anthony. Have a great week. Thank you, Sunmuddy. Wishing you the best week. Thank you, Danae. Have an awesome week. And Anami, thank you for jumping into this week with us as well. Lots of love to you all. Wishing you the best. Ciao, ciao.